Congress, the veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, former National Affairs Committee of the University of Liberia Student Union against us. Congress, the veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, former chairman on the Bureau of Membership of the Vanguard Student Education Party. Contested as standard bearer of the Student Education Party against the late Afonso Socrates Newman. Congress.
The man who defeated Samuel Fuel.
Congress. The veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, former member of the Central Committee of the Vanguard Student Unification Party, represented the Agricultural College. The veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah was once forced into exile along with 20 other students by the Taylor's administration. Congress, the veteran Jerolinmek Matthew Piah earned 2 degrees from the University of Liberia. Degree from the Agricultural College, the agronomy, BSc in agronomy, and a master's degree in international relations. Congress, veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, a Harvard-trained public administrator of MPA. Congress, the veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, Edward S. Mason Fellow of Public Policy, Management and Governance. Congress, the veteran in Jerolinmek Matthew Piah. Former veteran Jerolinmek Matthew Piah. Long ago you left the University of Liberia and you left this historical Rosewood. Today, at the balls of the Dugudu and the blessings of the chairman of the Capital Politburo Central Committee, component from the General Congress of the Airport and Vanguard Education Party, Former Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, the podium. Thank you.
Information Minister, student of the University of Liberia.
He is good to go. He is good to go. Awilo. Doblayo. Àwọn gbẹ́yọ̀. Àwọn ní bàṣíà. Àwọn ní dọ̀ọ̀dá. Àwọn ní bàṣíà. Àwọn ní dọ̀ọ̀dá. Gbẹ́yọ̀. Vanguard Student Education Party. Comrades, it's good to be here after many years of absence. The last time I was on this campus, if I'm not mistaken, was in 2016. That's the last time I walked through the treatment of this campus. At that time, soup was still soup as it is. Because soup will always be soup. Yo. But I think it's important for some of you to know a little bit about the history of soup and what the mission of soup has been. Liberia was an undemocratic nation with soup emerged. You did not have national political institutions that would challenge the status quo. And so a group of conscious, manly young people that you could describe as revolutionaries thought there was a need to establish an institution that would checkmate the status quo. And so like you rightly said, in 1970, the Vanguard Student Unification Party was giving birth to a clear understanding of where it wanted to go. It chose the political philosophy of massocracy because it's supposed to be an institution for the masses. They adopted a style of structural governmental arrangement that portrayed a Politburo, a central committee, women procedure, and you name it. Or perhaps contrary to some of the structures that exist in a democratic sector. But in their minds, they believed that that was a message that needed to be pushed because they didn't understand it better. The party lived on, challenged the status quo, and you hear me say the status quo. Because soup was not established, maybe many of you don't know this history, but soup was not established to be an anti-government institution. Anybody who told you that misled you already. SOUP was established to counter the negative vices that affect society. Sometimes those negative vices will go beyond government. It could be in churches. They could be in the mosques. They could be in some bureaucracy outside of government. You follow what is happening in the United States, we all been talking about it. They have a new president that says we suspend the operationalization of usage because we believe we spend trillions. You can see the value for it. Oh yes, SOUP was an institution that could be concerned about those issues as well. So in 1981, on the basis of these variances on what people thought about what SOUP was, the government of the day, led by William R. Turnbull, had been overthrown 1 year earlier in 1980. And in 1981, views were not different in the Student Unification Party. Some were saying the party should cease to operate because it's supposed to be a country people party. And so they were tackling the American Liberians, the people of South Africa. And now that the country people were in power, in their view, the struggle was over. And those who understood well what SOUP mandate the mission was said, no, you got it wrong. We are not a country people party. Our revolution is not over because one countryman is not in the mansion. Our work is to take note of what is happening in society and cross-check them. There are big divisions. In that division, the university students were decided. So they were going for election that year. And there were students at the university who did not agree that SOUP was a country people party. And who did not agree that SOUP mission was just a student maybe to be out of school or for government. So that division led them to election. A young journalist, very popular, is still alive today. People used to see on TV Action News, Kwame Clement, rose up as an independent candidate, challenged the Vanguard Student Unification Party, and defeated us for the first time. And that's the only time in history he defeated us in an election because there were some who were attempting to misinterpret the mission and mandate of SOUP. So Kwame defeated SOUP. That's the only record in history where this party, established since 1970, was defeated. So there was a need after that process to recalibrate. And the generation that came after, I guess, they recalibrated very well. And as a result of that, I want every election association in the family campus. But sometimes when you watch keenly, you get afraid and think that we're moving back to those places. No. But we find this one guy party, they want to bring you the people. Of course, with some of you that are keen, very passionate, committed. Maybe you guard against that and make sure that the party history of being a non-defeated party, except for nothing you want to be on focus. So let me put a few things in context. If the current generation of New York is true, perceives truth as an institution built, necessary to be under government, retreat, review yourself, talk to other persons, and recalibrate. Because it is a direction that will have a basis for the establishment of the party. Don't be afraid of criticize. I'm sitting here, right? And all the criticism is coming. I will really start. Because that's what school was built for. That's what school was born for. If you can't tolerate people's criticism about what you do, then you don't belong in school. What a veteran or member or whatever, you belong somewhere else. The irony then is, there are still elements in the party who will want to be critical of other people, but they don't want to have themselves in the family of other people. When the comrade told me that I needed to come here, I reached out to a number of former chairmen of the party. And one of them was Uriah Fairfield. Uriah was the chairman of school. In 2001, when we had a confrontation with the government of Liberia at the time headed by President Taylor. And that confrontation led about 21 of us in exile, basically between Ghana and Nigeria. So I reached out to him and others. I said, look, the comrades on campus said we should go there. All they say I should go, but I need some of you to follow. And I was surprised that the former chairman and the veteran, they said to me that you have some issues that are a reflection of what he calls living contradiction that does not permit him to get involved until those issues are resolved. And I asked him, Mr. Chairman, we need to talk about these things. What are some? And he said, for the past 4 to 5 years, you have not been able to derive a leadership institute democratically. I don't know the truth about that. But if it is true, then you got to be concerned. Because the foundation of SUP is based on democratic pluralism. So anybody who is enjoying leadership in this party that has not been brought about through the process of democratic elections, you can be proud of that leadership. Because it is at variance with the purposes for which the party was established. And I wanted to know from what is stopping that. You told me, in fact, at one point, you had two groups claiming to be leaders. One person on the other side calling themselves chairman, and another group on the other side calling themselves chairman. One party. The same party today can criticize the fact that at Capitol Hill, there are 2 speakers, according to them. Look back in war as you do all these critical analysis. We got to live what we preach. And somebody says, they men are good men, all you great men were in the bad regime. Taylor came to power here after the war. The regime was bad. LA came. So Billy Brown came in to straighten something. The regime was bad. LA came, the regime was bad. We are came, the regime was bad. Waga here, the regime is bad. For all the years that these people, all the people are named, all the years that they've been in power. How many years? LA 12, till in turn, right?
Yeah, 6.
So till 6, that is 12 hours. So we are 6. Maybe Baka will have another 6. 30. If you, a 35-year-old right now, and all during this period you see the revenue, so everything you believe in that you think will benefit the company, you can't give it last week. You can't put them up because all the regime buy you over for them. So what happens? The people you call the wrong people continue to govern. And you got all the ideas according to you to solve the country problem, you stay away because the regime is not good. So you remain on that path until you die, other people can die, other people can die, and then in the end, who leave the country? The talk about bad people. So that mentality itself is redundant. It's archaic. It should not come from a group of people like you who are not just political activists, because the things you do here, they're not about just politics. You are in different colleges trying to earn degrees to make yourself who you're supposed to be. But you say every government is bad, and nobody's going to affiliate with them, but you're part of this country. So you stay away, and the bad people continue to leave, and the effect of their bad things will be felt by you. When you do the things you do as activists and advocates, and you create the conditions for change, and you're not ready for the change, the wrong people will be the beneficiary of your change. And I can give you an example. The soldier people were not involved in anything in this country. There were no codes. During the time of the Third War, the Third French, these were just people who were followers. Those who were holding the government accountable were people from this university. But guess what? When the regime they harassed so much had to fall, who took the power? And then, the people who affected the regime too, or who know everything, they were the progressive people, they were the intellectuals, and they held the government feet to the fire, and the government fell. Who took the power? And then, a group of army people, with the head of that arrangement being just a high school graduate. They benefited from the work of advocacy that all the progressive people did, and they governed the country. Along the way, they tried to infiltrate. I mean, they went in. Initially, from the beginning, some of them were playing some different roles. But they realized that there was no way that you could be among these people and control and direct anything. So, within a short period of time, all of them who were affiliating, they left. You are too young to know that history. Because perhaps some of you were not even born. They all walked away. So the country was seized by the military board. And then the head of that military arrangement said, even though we said we walk through with creating, then we go back to the barrel, we allow democratic election to take place. By the time that democratic election time was coming, then the leader of the coup said, but I was wrong. And he ran. The records are there, reflected in the Guinness Book of World Records, that those elections were rigged. And the guy stood for a fire and said, we will not allow that rigged election to take place. And he came one soon morning, November 12th, and he announced that they've overthrown the government because the election was rigged. It took a few hours. And his coup was turned around. The aftermath of that coup intervention and the turnaround drove us straight to a civil war. That different records got different accounts, but one record says it led to the death of at least 250,000 people. Why? We always saw every government as the wrong government. We're waiting for our own that will come from heaven or from somewhere to play a role. While we're waiting for that, and it may not come until Judgment Day, then the other people continue to govern. And their missteps in governance will lead to something like what we saw in Civil War that killed 250,000 people who had nothing to do with government. Some of them are ordinary people going about a normal business. But got killed either because they belong to one tribe or they were associated with one political party. And that was their crime. And don't forget, in everything you do, that amongst those people who may be martyrs, include men and women who made this institution that you guys are benefiting from. Have you asked about what God is talking about? Have you found out yourselves how Molu Lavla died? I can give you an account. Molu had escaped from the Sinker area. We were passing through that time. And at that time, the army was no longer an army. Tribal people were all recruited. Wo was a teacher. Instead of being a student of the university, now Molu Lavla was a teacher at GW Gibson. So people knew him. And some of the people who knew him, who were students, were already part of the different fighting forces. And one of them, who's supposed to be grateful to this man who was giving him knowledge, but also did not let the fact that he was here and active with Soup, and Soup was seen as a party, giving do harder, and that they were in sympathy with the war. They saw him right there. They led him towards the swamp, and they gave him a few bullets in his head. Some people who witnessed that scene said, when they were shooting, he was still saying before the bullet could throw him down, Amanda. Yo, he's dead. He died because we were busy waiting for the red government, allowing the wrong people to rule. The wrong people led us to war. The war took his life. Piah historically was the fiercest person that I knew to be in the student education party. I came across him for the first time because I was a student at BWI at the time. And we were establishing a political movement there called the Student Unification Movement, SUN. I was there, Gafan was there, many other folks were there. In those days of trying to put this institution together and strengthening it, Piah, Molu Lavla, and the whole generation went there. Because the Student Unification Movement there is supposed to be an affiliate political party, TOSU, to build that rapprochement. That's why when I graduated from BWI and I walked on the university campus, nobody began to recruit me. I knew where I was coming. Because we already had a relationship with a student political party here. That man, that Piah man we're talking about, was slaughtered during the era of that same war. There were many other victims who came in. So comrades, you may have all the disagreement with a regime. But when you believe that the people who are your veterans are going to work with any regime you call not a real regime, they will not have any regime to work with. And the regime power, anything they do will affect all of us because the things they do will affect the country. So what I think you should do as a political party is to judge your veterans who are in those regimes at different standards. Pay attention to what they do. Call them to put a bureau meeting sometimes. And so these are our opinions. That's what we think about the country. If you are part of the cabinet and you sit in cabinet meeting, these are our concerns. We're not there. Can you stand up for something? Can you stand for the Liberian people even though you're part of the arrangement? Can you be their voice? Because that's why you were yesterday. We don't expect you to change. Leaders who want things to happen are what they do. Secondly, our discourses will have to be clean. Some of the utterances we make, just in the name of the politics, they don't reflect us. Soup, as it was, the caliber of people who passed through a range and party of this party, you know why they were respected? They were not having protests.
Yo, if now respond to the butterfly, you will die in your feet. So now, yo.
Piah, Piah, your party stay alive, your party stay alive.
For the time I stayed at the university, which is the same time I stayed in Soup, I don't remember a single time in the whole period where this party, either against government forces or against other fellow student organizations, got involved in any stone throwing. Never. Because that's not what you represent. Okay, young people that you smart, intellectual people use stone throwing as a remedy to seeking redress to the political issues you have. How? People look up to you. The young kids who are in the high school when they're leaving, they're looking at you. They soup boy and let the way and they are going. When they see why you do a throwing rag in the street, anytime you get this agreement, you have already taught them that when they come here, they just become expert rag thrower. It's that rag that will make you strong, comrades. Those days, when soup is under this palaver hut, and they issue a national policy statement about the country and the governance process, the government is trimming. You know I throwing rag. Soup in the 80s. The work they did contributed toward the fall of the government. They didn't do so by throwing rag. I know no serious member of the Student Unification Party that were affiliated with any of the warring factions fighting war. None. None. Look at the people who emerged after Taylor finally came through. Your friend out here, they said they were in one group called C. All of them have felt fun themselves behind the line, you know where they were? They all joined the MPF. And you know that I know how to come call in India? They came to town. They came to town. Some of them, one nice guy, what do they call him? Is it Tiafaka? Junior Hospital? Smart guy. I don't know how you even end there on that side. Somebody let that sort of be useful. Or something that we end there on that side. None of your veterans saw the need to get involved in anything like that because their power has been and should still be in the things they write. Not by throwing stone.
Well, man, so you very naked about so on the round, yeah, I was using rag. Yo.
Okay. No argument. But I can tell you a story too. I told you me. I told you that me and over 20 other student leaders were forced into exile by Taylor. So you don't need passport. Because we didn't travel with passport. I didn't even know what they call passport. But here's the case I want to make. If you say you throw in rap because people invade the campus, I don't know who invaded your campus, but the people that invaded mine were dreadful killers. And what were we doing before they invaded the campus? Two journalists, they had reported that they were doing the war in Lofa. Yeah. So they reported that as the people in the country were suffering, government spent millions to buy a helicopter gunship to fight the war in Lofa. Of course, that was a stupid statement. Because government get army fighting war. They will say that buys something to fight the war because people suffering. But when they did that, because that's a security operation, when you buy a weapon for war, it's a secret operation. So when the journalists reported that, the Taylor administration said they were revealing a secret security secret of the government, so they charged them with espionage. When you go in the street of protest and say, why are you charging espionage? The only thing Soup said at that time, Uriah was the chairman, Alfonso Nimner was the president of OSU, was to come under the same Palaver Hall. What did we come to do? We came to hold a financial rally. Begging people say, look, if you get 10 that I put in there, you get 5 I put in there. What will we do with the money? We will pay a lawyer. And tell the lawyer, say, you will represent me 2 journalists in court. That's all we're doing. Before we could get ready for the rally, the executive mansion called Dr. Ben Rabba, who was the president at the time. He said, we heard that the students that bought the whole rally, they should not have it. He called us. We went to him, we had a conversation, we said, we can't have a rally. If your deputation is some kind of political rally that will be chaotic, no. What we come to do is a financial rally, which anybody can do. And Ben said, you want a financial rally, what kind of rally? We will not have it. We looked at Rabbi, we looked in Ben's face and said, we have the rally. So we're not going out of the campus, we're going in the street, we're not chunking rap. We come to tell people, say, put your money there, we're not having it for a while, we'll do it. So we're here, one of the same Palava, the basket was there, put a small money inside. We ended. One of the comrades was standing on this same podium, whatever the same podium, but our podium was here, the men were talking to him. He was giving the benediction. Because one thing we know about Sufi is that we know God. So we ended our rally, we know closely with God. And while the young man was saying that benediction from this side, from the main gate, from everywhere, both the ATU and SOG, they ran into this campus and they were fighting with women. And those students were generally concerned about themselves, but they were concerned about us who were the leaders. I was somewhere right around here. How I left this campus, on strike, untouched, and eventually found myself in Nigeria, it just showed that I am a Castro.
Viva, viva, le parle ton âme et Pierre, deux personnes qui lui Pierre, viva, viva.
So that was it. Nobody trust me. But trust me, they didn't carry the riot. They didn't carry Miller. They didn't carry the Abu Samson. All the 21 of us that went there who were the prime leaders of the party and who were present under the Palava Hall. Not a single one of us were caught. Nor were we even tried by a strike. Because one of the things some people do, oh, they didn't do it yet, they're not taking risks. They're supposed to train you, as the comrade said, to be able to appear and disappear. If you can't appear and disappear, you are gambling.
Yo, le parle de yo, yo, yo.
Le parle de
Yo, national government, document misbehaving. Yo.
So, I will say,
wait, you're still keeping talking for something.
Yo.
Sasa, mon pole.
so yeah, and I will just tell you now once more. Because this is where we can make direct our action, and soon should not be made directing action. This university has a reputation that you should fight to improve is protected. If you claim that I, Jerolinmek Piah, use somebody's RD, I get a degree enough for me, whose responsibility is that? Huh? This university is run by an administration. If the administration under their watch can allow things that will compromise and bring the university to public ridicule, if I were you, I'd take the university administration to task. And I'm going to the house of golf football with a private citizen to say we're visiting you. The man who right here who run the school, who why have you not visited you? So when doctor knew or on some people say he graduated, that he is separate in there. Who compared the role of graduates? If he got a degree, who signed the degree? Who signed that clearance that led me to graduation? Yeah, you can have problem with him because he should be a person of integrity if you want to. But how come you're not concerned about your school, whose integrity you should be proud of, if the claims are true? Because I have not investigated to find the claim to be true. So I'm not saying it as though I know it's true. But I'm saying if it were true, you're not going to hold your university administration accountable for breaking your university in the public discipline. Of course, you are not done that.
Yo, graduation suspended individuals. Yo.
Alright, so they finish.
Le commune de plus en pas que t'es la même banane, ils ont agadamé frost for yo.
Yo, and I become coaching graduate in cities, so they said to my graduate in UP, yo.
He's an academic criminal, yo.
I mean, I just heard that they say Koji in a graduate school in the Westman land. You still talking about how you graduated. They don't come out, you come with a Westman degree, you will still be here. So look, and that's what I'm saying. The soup that we know, the soup that we still believe in, the soup that we are veterans of, tackled issues of serious nature and of interest to the Liberian society and its survivability. When the party starts to run behind every petty thing in the street, you lose relevance. Don't allow our party to lose relevance. On the university campus, the chairman of our party is supposed to be the most important, the most powerful individual on the campus, not even the president of the university.
He is the most powerful man.
I never change. Say the most powerful man to come to the university. Yo.
It comes with
He powerful than Quagga. Yo.
So it even comes to responsibility. That power you're talking about, power can disappear when you don't keep the responsibility. And maybe you're not seeing around yourself. Let's give an example. The leader who was considered the most popular person in this country, as far as democratic election was concerned, was President Piah. He won 14 of the 15 candidates when he was elected president.
Viva,
There
viva,
are responsibilities.
viva, 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 le Bangabali dividend, Mr. Piah, viva.
Viva.
Viva, 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 le Bangabali, the rocket will not want them president, viva.
Viva.
So there are responsibilities. Let me
president. Yo.
Yeah, we got to go. The point I'm making is that when you find yourself in those categories, there are responsibilities that you must keep to remain there. When those responsibilities go away, that value you have will drop. Because he did not keep those responsibilities, a man who won 14 of the county could not get re-election because he didn't keep the standard. The same thing applies to all of you. There's a reason why the man who chairs is considered the most powerful man on this country. When those values that make him to be the most powerful man on the campus slide away, so will his authority and power diminish. I'm a Christian too, so I will let her warn young people. One part of the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Another one says, we should respect our fathers and our mothers so that our days may be long in the land the Lord God has given us. And that interpretation of father and mother is not literally the man who born you or the woman who born you. It is anybody who's senior you. I remember so many people for the campaign time. So many people said, Waka went back, Waka with that, Waka with that. The last time I checked around, someone there, they give it. Give it. They're going to 6 feet. When I was press secretary of President Selly, there was many times people share our death news. They want to go to the UN, she there, they carry me all around and say she died. Some of the young people who are involved in that, they give it ever since. She's still here. She's strong. She's traveling the world. She was there at the AU Sunday. Yeah, she you see her, you know she when she opens her mouth to talk. Her voice is even stronger than many of us who are young people.
Yo, I tend to read better, Mr. Don't be a good look at that way. Yo, Mr. Forrest, you see what error? Yo. Try to celebrate April 14, 1979. Come to that, but the democracy that we got today. Yo. Viva. Progressivity, viva.
So the point I'm trying to make with this is
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Recognize it, talk about what the master. Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency.
that's a word that was used. I don't know whether you're still using it, but it has a meaning. You say the university is the microcosm of the larger society. If you expect quality in the larger society, quality must start from here. Your discourse can be like anybody who in water side. Your assessment of government issue can be like one grown-up boy who's somewhere talking. When you speak and when you make your issue that you say this, that university like real students talking. All the other universities that are around here, when their students see you, when their leaders see you, they should be trembling. You're in a different category, a different world. You can only remain there by yourself. When they listen to you, and all you do is almost a virtually costing my cause, but those are not students. They come to respect your chairman. They see you standing in the middle of the street throwing stone. That's your man here. So, criticize the government. Only when you told me, say, you can't say, I will come. Even though I see there's a little bit mixed up, because why he told me I was coming for the night.
Viva, 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 the bourgeoisie do not listen in the listen to the viva, 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 they only have proud of what they viva, 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 there is a state that they don't let viva, viva.
So he told me that the Student Unification Party was launching something he called So Speak, but he said react. Where he said react, you know we had a conversation about react.
So when we did,
all right. So that's part of it. This man said they were coming, you could have read the wrong react, I can't launch it. Then I asked him, do you know the history of react? So I said there were three. I said, let me tell you the history of react. And you listen, because who listen to you? Because now you tell me the teaching of so speak. Because the history of react that I gave him was clear that what they were trying to do was wrong. Because even the react we hire, so that's something we could run that flow can do. All the guys only call react. They bring yet, who was saying, Matthew, you see react, that's all you can launch. I follow the history. So he said you come to launch it. So I came not for the purpose of an intellectual history. I came to launch something. When the man the podium, the first thing they do, forget what he react. Great tasking, my man. They look back at the government. I thought they were going to do the launch of the react team. Okay. So that's why the problem. Thank God you brought that up. Thank God you brought that up. I know you criticize everything in national society. But let's assume the state was having a big program. Or even me, the Minister of Information, having some kind of program they are calling. I said, your kind of program will start 12. Your kind 11:30, because you're going to be on time. Now the Minister of Information call you. The mail for your kind at the time, the Minister of Information, the man Amen. Soup say, Venom Piah, come to the zone hour. At least more time from a can. I sit down here, that time can pass. You don't make it come over. You drag the addition of God waiting for the chairman. You delay some of God waiting for the chairman. Amen. The chairman should have been here to receive his veteran that he invited. The veteran didn't come here uninvited. He sent you.
Yo, the pulling good fry, yeah. Yo. Yeah, you got to receive it.
No. That's why you get a mistake. No. You don't have the authority to receive me. The man who should receive me as a veteran, who he called, supposed to be the most powerful man on this campus, was the chairman of the Police Bureau and Central Committee concomitantly.
The
Don't wait for that thing. It's your body in criticize, but it just can't criticize. So you got to criticize in 2 lines. Don't be weird. You can't be thin skinned. Get a more sharp to throw my elbow with a toy and put yourself. But you turn away, Jimmy. Oh, sometimes you turn away from us. Yo.
The chairman had the builder of Piah anytime or now. Yo.
Okay. I salute you. So all what the men saying, you veteran, don't try to disgrace our chairman also. Because the men told me say after the meeting we're gonna do Police Bureau meeting. How I said? So in our Police Bureau meeting part, I get plenty and I'm not talking here. So we scatter things inside it. Can I play? We have a real conversation. It's not because we hate you, but because we want soup to always be soup. No, trust me, you have not had election for some time. When you have elections now, and people see by way of your conduct the defeat soup, we don't. It's not a Kwame Clement time where he flogged us and we're able to bounce back. Right now, if there's any mistake where we get defeated, with the polarization of our politics and our society, it will be a long haul.
As it stands, nobody can defeat soup on the campus of the University. Party.
That's good to hear. But you know, the government gets something called complacency. When you just put out in your head, then nobody can defeat us, and just sit down and get complacent, you will be caught on the way.
Yo. We're gonna make it with consult the rock. Yo.
So, Mr. Comrade, I wish to come back purposely for an intellectual discourse with you, right? And at that point, it will not be about me making big speeches. It will not be for me discussing soup here. It will be for somebody to get introduced me. Maybe I'll say something for 2 minutes, and the rest of it becomes interactive. And everybody will be here. Ask any question you want to ask them. Any question. The only thing is, the rules of intellectualism is when you ask me a question, you don't determine my answer. If you already know the answer, then don't need to ask me. So when we're doing that, when I ask my own question, when you ask your question and I answer you, don't make proud. Just accept my answer, we'll move on. Let the rest of the people stand around judging be the judges as to whether the person provided the appropriate answers to the question or not. That's what it's all about. I want for you guys to arrange that, let me come back. But I wanted today to be the purpose for which you came, because I got some stuff to do to work, and we'll take out to go to the police bureau meeting, according to you, except it's canceled. It says 10, right? Yeah. So I don't have much time. We just stay here. I wanted to do the police bureau meeting. So I want to thank you for inviting me. And I want to say that so speaks. I'm told it's supposed to be some newsletter, and you wanted me to launch that. Yeah. So I want to declare the So Speaks portfolio formally launched. And you know, you sort of buy a ring or shoes, so do all kind of things to keep it going, right? Yeah. Now, the thing no way. Correct. So the thing I was supposed to do to get out to go on, we're talking in the police bureau room outside. Thank you. So I launched it with something that will help you to start it, but that something will be only between you and myself in the chambers of the police bureau central committee.
Now, as a logical baby,
Man. So. Okay, I'll tell Bwaga here. So, comrade, thank you. And like I said, I'm glad that I'm here. And I'm glad by your conduct. Because for the last 6 years, I was away. There was something I saw here. And even though it was against who we thought were our opponent, but it was bad and unreflective of the university campus. There were people coming here doing the weird administration who were government officials. I don't know who was doing it. I don't know whether I was super or who was doing it. But whenever the people were chasing them and almost harmed them. I saw it happening to 12. They had to basically rescue you. I saw it happening to Serena Sifa and other people. Tambura and other people. My only advice to you as a veteran of SUP. When these people you have problems will come here, force them on the palaver all you have to discuss. Force them to answer your questions. Don't attack. You see, you believe in the principles of democracy. And those principles call for certain freedom. For somebody to enter the university campus and do what they want to do, that freedom. How come you who now supposed to be advocates of freedom, finding somebody who exercises their own freedom to come to the university by running behind? I'm not saying you probably want to do it, I don't know who did it. Okay. The guy keep wanting me that I'm not what direct closer. So I submit. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mana.
So, comrades,
Information Minister Jerolinmek Matthew Piah speaking with 5 students here at the University of Liberia.
President Topa K. Norris, Assistant Minister for Tourism and Mika, Minister of Culture, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Topa. And then we usher in Central Committee member emeritus for a very brief remark. Veteran Robert E. Wilson, Deputy Director for Operation at the General Service Agency, GSA.
Viva, 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 viva. Drumao is the best of the two that who found us again on Drumao.
Good afternoon. Some 16 years ago, I'm out at this podium and gave the opposition advice, which was same and stood up. To win SUP in an election, you need 100-year strategy.
Yo. souffle, God souffle, viva God never fail, souffle never fail.
So I said, when these quote-unquote opposition graduates from the University of Liberia, we have to go down to the primary kindergarten area, tutor those kids. When they shall have left high school, when they come into college, then you send people behind them to also tutor them, in which is a 100-year strategy. And before you leave the university to go and teach, the strategy will not work because you leave here at age 35, when you finish, you will die, and the strategy will die. I say this because the Vanguard Education Party sound. You have to know your worth. The black people see up there over TH. When Soup is about to issue a release, I don't know what is happening again. The whole campus from FQ to GH to TH, people want to release. I repeat, when Soup about to issue a release, in fact, the executive mansion has sent people here for that release. And how powerful Soup was. The minister said, you reduce yourself to Soup to it. And when veterans come here during our time, you provide maximum protection for the veteran. I didn't see it today. I may be wrong.
The veteran is protected spiritually,
yo. What I saw when the minister was speaking, and a veteran, so a lot of respect. I'm very, very serious. Supers, those military in the khakis, will provide militancy for the veteran. But they finish speaking, escort him to a car and make sure that he's well protected. I saw no protection for supers today. You can create soup, nobody will take soup criticism role from them. And in government, we also have government criticize. So the criticism should be constructive. Now when soup is issuing a release outside, all the general run on the campus. Because that release will make government will tremble.
Viva, 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 viva.
I may be wrong. The highest budget ever to come from government, $34 million, came on Augustin Piah Gafuan as finance minister. After that time, the University of Liberia budget have diminished. Watch out. This finance minister again, the university will be supported. He said, authority, you got one there, Minister of Finance. You also got Myers, Minister of Finance. You got one more pay as the Minister of Mines and Energy. You got so many veterans in government. And you need to put together and channel your grievances. I will say it to your face, soup is dying. When the last time we conducted CDC class, the minister was talking about the country training class. It is for a privileged few, those notable scholars and people who are waiting to be in the vanguard. They're not something everybody can know. I don't know whether you know about CDC class. So for example,
viva, 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 you sacred, we don't tell people viva.
Viva. Thank you.
But I didn't see it here today.
Tradition is meant to be now. I
didn't see it today. If there's a citizen participant among the faces I see it, I didn't see it. You know it when you go to CTC class. You know it'll be a CTC person. And I will make that commitment today. We need, if and only if the CTC cannot go wrong, we need to. I will take that initiative to put the veterans together for us to have some CTC class. Soup is dying.
Yo, only the chairman had the authority. Yo.
I said, soup is dying. CTC class, if you're not having it, I will leave that commitment. I will leave. For us to have the veterans from outside to make themselves available for to have CTC class. If, and only if not be conducted.
Yo, you is busy with a job. Yo.
There's a clear example. A CTC class need to come with immediate effect. Soup. Let me give you a history. I became a soupist from high school. I know what a high school still getting you all are just coming. If they want to take our soup.
Yo, I'm the chairman of the coalition of super high school. Yo.
Exactly. So you get grown from high school. When I walk to the university entrance, during that time you see, that's how you walk. What's up? Come here. What's up, guys? I'm already in soup paste coming to the university. The commitment from soup when you have the elections. We don't go home to sleep. Soon as Student will leave for about 5. Soup place will be manning the ballot box until the votes are counted. The commitment people brought to soup. We don't need to sleep, we need to be here. We change shift. Suppose finish, suppose take my record here. You finish, you change shift, the commitment you brought to soup. The minister says something, I won't come back to it. Soup need to lead by example. You need to have elections. Soup is a democratic institution. Advocate. Align with the president, the acting president, or the judge, Dr. Nwomo. Align with them and have elections. You can't be there 5-6 years and say you don't have elections. You get split up, everybody argue no. Now the soup we know.
We're fasting for elections.
Yo. You have to lead the way for elections. Vanguard student education parties are a way of life. In closing, we had a program 2002. Yeah, 2002. We were marching around. I didn't know this individual was soupist. Joe Wally, somewhere on Crown Hill. That veteran got from a car. He stood on top of it and he was praising soup, the soup that I know. I got to know from that moment that Joe Wally was a soupist. Soup is inside all of us. Those that are here in leadership, reach out. Reach out, let reinvigorate our soup spirit. Soup is dying. Thank you.
Mana. Work.
Some veterans are a banner in the party. Yo. It was the C party that made them today. They are a banner in the party. Yo.
Man down.
Sorry, I just wanted to, I think it was an oversight. You know, soup is a big name, so people hear about soup, whether they're part of you or not, they won't come to experience this soup. So I run the Ministry of Information as the head, but I got people working along with me who are not soup. But once they heard I was coming, some of them were banning everything they were doing. I showed them what they were actually leave with their own interpretation, with their own experience, but I thought it was important to show them some respect by recognizing them. So Madam Kadiatu Conte Bohiri is my Deputy Minister for Culture and Tourism. Let's say, you don't wait to do that well.
Yo, you want me to president bro? After yo.
And then, of course, he called Duba Norris. He's the Assistant Minister for Tourism at the ministry. I don't know whether anybody else in the ministry here. All right, so the both of them here, and I thought it was important to just recognize them. These are people who, I know everybody in government, they're not correct. Fine. They already are, right? Everybody will vouch for themselves. And I believe these people can vouch for themselves, just like I can vouch for myself. You know, people can say anything they want to say. We can listen to me, the skin I get. Maybe that why. And I mean, come and say Castro, that super give me Castro. I don't get moved by anything. So when you fight me, you say you fight me, you're wasting your breath, you're wasting your energy. Because I don't have time for it. I just focus on doing what I'm supposed to do. That's all. You know, yeah, we enjoy you keep it up. But some of us saw death. I don't know how many of you and I see death. I said see death, but you know you don't die.
I saw death that 2022.
Only
death visited me. Yo.
Just saw the death.
Yo.
Just saw the devil. Only man begins to see who suffer. So, but look, the point I was just making is that people have seen so much. People have seen so many things. I didn't explain how we left. I just said we appear and disappear. My own journey of that disappearance, and that's going to be it. I will be finished ever since. It will be bringing me among your matter. But I saw death, and I conquered death.
Viva! You are Hallelujah, viva!
You are great people who can be leaders of this country for what? But you squander it when you say you're looking for the government sent by India or you say. When you even believe I want to put in that government back, go there and be the change maker. Because the one you're waiting for to be in Jerolinmek may never come until Jesus Christ returns. Then you know you're coming back. That 2,000 years ago, they say you're coming because we got a place called heaven where we all. So we're still waiting for you. But don't allow him to meet you here. Stay waiting for the best government.
So, comrades, before we usher in the co-chair for governmental affairs, who is the third person on the Politburo, and then we usher the veteran to the Politburo and Central Committee meeting where he will go access the party office and have some discussion with the Politburo. We love to erase this. We understand that when people metamorphosize out of the University of Liberia to the larger society and they are confronted with societal reality, they at times rationalize decision on campus and decision on national scene. Let us say this, the reasons for which we launched the SU Speaks today as the Bureau of Press Propaganda Research and Guidance is to make sure the university is an intellectual environment where ideas are changed. Men with ideas meet at the slaughter ground to discuss issues. So we want to say, President Jerolinmek Matthew Piah, thank you. Let us erase this quickly. Let us erase this quickly. SU is not dying. SU will not die.
Viva! 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 Viva!
Don't worry.
We discuss it in political meeting. But in passing, my brother would say the revolution is a stage of contradictions upon contradictions, where the revolutions will watch the contradictions and the species of the revolutions may appear one day in a glittering goal where the masses will enjoy the benefit of the struggle. It is with this mandate that today people see the Vanguard Party through different lenses. That is their view. But the reality on ground is that the party is on course and the masses are hopeful that tomorrow the society will be redeemed. But the Vanguard Party shall usher in the forces for liberation. Comrades, let me recognize Politburo cry in our midst, beginning with the treasurer of the Politburo in person of Comrade Adeolo Latana Nyama, my own ideological brother. Let me also recognize the Assistant Secretary General of the Politburo in person of Comrade Kevin Obo George, who is the Assistant Secretary General of the Politburo. Let me also recognize the co-chair for governmental affairs, who is most ranking official in our midst here, in person of Comrade Adiolo, Comrade leader, Comrade teacher, my own mentor, my own brother, in person of Alvin Kofa, and the Secretary General who is currently seated in the party office, waiting the arrival of the veterans and his entourage. Comrades, with all that being said, we want to say, beginning today, going forward, there will be dossiers of leaflets for you to read. There will be dossiers of leaflets for you to read. Let us say this, veteran the party has an official response to Mr. Trump, disorganized, disorientated ideas about governance, a capitalistic mis-in-place and dis-in-place view. SUB as an intellectual party have never forgotten a historical mandate to discuss critical issues in and out of government. We believe that our objective is against the capitalist system. We want to replace that capitalist system of mass oppression with a system that will bring out democratic tendencies in societal governance.
Lonely!
And let us say this, the party officially gave a position on Mr. Piah, quote-unquote misrepresentation of history, misapply and misarrange analysis, that there is a need to rebury though a illiterate master sergeant Samuel Kanyando, a dictatorialistic president, and we don't talk about a cornered nepotistic individual.
Rational Tunisia, the last brother of the oligarchy,
Perpetuated 133 years of American Liberian dominance at the detriment of the over 99% of the indigenous Liberians that was impoverished and enslaved. Comrades, the historical reality will be corrected, and no regime in the history of this country, whether you have our veteran or not, will be told or be made to misinterpret the history of this country. April 14, 1979 was the day for democracy, was the day of multi-party democracy, was the day that the masses of this country had their fundamental right to go at the ballot and decide who vote for them. Mr. Piah had no moral to misinterpret that history for us.
So, we bury everybody or we bury nobody.
So on the basis of this, we'll also officially call in the co-chair of governmental affairs who have done this program for today. Beginning Wednesday, there will be a barrage of veterans from SUB and out of SUB on the university campus that will come here to be giving you their own knowledge on societal governance. SUB speaks, as we said, it will be your intellectual classical of the finest ideas in the state. The Student Unification Party, as an institution that believes in intellectual dominance supremacy, want to rearrange and redefine to those misshaped, disjointed, misargumentated logic that SUB is against a political party that will have intellectual in our midst. So on the basis of this, Comrades, co-chair of governmental affairs,
So, comrades, time fast pace. I will not talk plenty, I will not talk much. I would like to be very dry for a minimum decimal point of 00.
Yo, but I intellectually, yo.
And I want to say thanks to every one of you for the time. Aluta, I wait to the struggle continue. Mana.